Инвестор Медиа Про представя Инвестор Файнанс Форум. Събитие на Инвестор БГ. Инвестор Медиа Про. Тук събитията се случват.
Good morning, everyone. This panel will be in English. Today with me, I have a pleasure to announce that today with me are three CEOs of the three stock exchanges in our region. Иван Стериев, the CEO of the Macedonian Stock Exchange, Ивана Гаджич, CEO of Zagreb Stock Exchange, which is the owner of Ljubljana Stock Exchange also, and Adrean Tanase, CEO of Bukureška Stock Exchange. And we are going to talk about government bonds. During the last panel, we all heard that bank interest rates are going to rise in Bulgaria, and around Europe and in US, this happened from the beginning of this year. So now we have quite big differences between more bank interest rates in developing countries comparing to Bulgaria, which is not normal. But big interest rates means that it is the rise of bonds empire. Bonds market is developing very well where interest rates are high because bonds become more investment instruments, and we see the same in Bulgarian market also. On Bulgarian Stock Exchange we have several more bond issues listed during this year. Even we have the first bond issue which were issued through our SMEs Growth Market BIM. About government bonds, a lot of countries in Europe, even developed markets, are using government bonds as an instrument for attracting retail investors also. You know that in general government bonds are issued to big institutional investors, are the main buyer of, and banks are the main buyer of government bonds. But also there are some programs that are branded especially for retail investors, and such countries are, for instance, Belgium, Italy, Portugal, but also markets like us, for instance, in our region, they also use this instrument. A part of the Bulgarian Stock Exchange strategy for capital market development is to develop together with Ministry of Finance a special program for government bonds for individual investors. So far we haven't done this, but our neighbors have already done. And I will start with Romania because Romanian program is quite interesting and quite big. The name of this program is Fidelis. So Adrian, could you share with us what exactly is this program? How did you decide to start it, and what recently is coming there?
Okay, so first, thank you for having me here, invited you to this conference. Of course, yes, the Minister of Finance had decided to launch to relaunch actually the program for the individuals, to issue government bonds for individuals through stock exchange, because they have two channels for individuals. One is the post company, which are not traded, they don't have a secondary market, it's only a primary market there. And they have decided in 2020 to issue for individuals through the stock market. And it is a success from many perspectives. So they had so far 48 issuances. So they are issuing on quarterly basis, and they are issuing in two currencies, RON denominated, Euro denominated, and they have like 3 or 4 issuances each time. And so far they have issued 48 issuances, and they have attracted more than 4 billion euros only from individuals. It's half-half, local currency, euro-denominated, and the tenors are not so high. Yeah? The highest tenor is 5 years for euro-denominator. So they are still issuing short-term contracts, but the appetite is there. Yeah? And yes, it's a very good development for us from many perspectives. So it had a very good effect on the capital market from a larger perspective. Yeah? It is creating a benchmark. This is very important for other issuances, yeah? For equity issuances. So it's a very, very visible benchmark for everybody, for investors, for sell side, buy side. It's a very visible benchmark, and everybody knows how to evaluate their issuances. Yeah? So this is one. Attract new investors. Yeah? A lot of new investors has attracted in the market because there are a lot of, as you can imagine, Romanians are preferring still the bank deposits to keep their savings, and this is a very close to the bank deposits in their perceptions. Yeah? And being short term, they don't have interest rate risks, but and they are started to invest here. Yeah? So we have like the number of investors has tripled in the last 4 years. Yeah, you used to have 55,000 accounts open in the market. Now we have like 170,000 accounts. Of course, we have many reasons, but 20% of these accounts are owning only.
You're talking about investors in government bonds?
No. So this is the whole market, but 20% of these 150,000 are owning only government bonds. Yeah. So there are many good effects, and yes, we are very happy to the program. And of course, the Ministry of Finance has committed to have this. It's an open-end program. Yeah. So they are establishing the interest rates, and whatever the money are coming, they are getting all. Yeah. So now they are developing another. They are diversifying their distribution channels. Yeah, because our public debt is of course kept in majority by institutional investors. But now more than 3% to 5% of the public debt is kept by the individuals, and they are committed to develop this channel. Yeah? It's a very stable channel for them. And of course, another very positive effect, and then I want to mention the biggest IPO which has happened this year in Europe, has happened in Bucharest, the IPO of Hidroelectrica. Yes, those programs has been very good. Those Fidelis program has shown to the sellers of this IPO the capacity of Romanians to finance big deals. Yeah? So this has been another argument to start this IPO this year only on the Bucharest Stock Exchange, because the Fidelis program has shown the capacity of Romanian individuals to finance this kind of deals. Yeah? You have money, so there are a lot of money in the banking sector, a lot of liquidity, and of course in Hidroelectrica more than 1 billion euros has came. Hidroelectrica has been an IPO of 2 billion euros value. More than 1 billion euros has came from individuals. Yeah, the subscriptions. Of course, the allocation also only 20% to them.
And what about secondary trading? Do you have enough secondary trading?
Yes, of course. This is another effect, because yes, they are short-term trades, but still you have 3 years, 5 years. You have some interest rate risk there. So it's an educational process because the individuals don't understand the interest rate risk. Yeah? That the price of the bond is going down and the interest is going up, and vice versa. And these instruments are very, very good for this educational process, and they are trading. So the liquidity, comparing corporate bonds, which has zero liquidity, 1 million euro per day, it's traded on the government bonds, and those people trading in the secondary market are learning about because they have a price in the market, and they are learning. They are facing the interest rate risk there. So this is another very, very positive effect for the development of the capital market in general. So I think 15% of the issuances has been already traded in the secondary market. Of course, there are incentives. Yeah, they are very onerous. The coupons are not taxed in Romania, so zero taxes. The trading fees are very onerous, so almost zero. So everything is almost zero. Yeah. But yes, a lot of people are coming, and a lot of people are asking about this kind of investments, which are zero risk for Romanians. Yeah.
Ivana, recently you launched similar program in Croatia. As I know, it attracts a lot of individuals.
Yes, thank you, Manu. Hello to everyone. I'm very happy to be here in beautiful Sofia again. And I will just tell you shortly what happened with our Croatian state bond designed for retail that was listed on the Zagreb Stock Exchange on 8th of March, so International Women's Day. And it was for the first time we had Prime Minister on our stock exchange. It was a big day. And I've heard the story from the Hърватска and how they started thinking about it. Croatia entered Eurozone beginning of this year. So after less than 3 months, 2.5 months, they actually launched the first bond purely in euro, and they were planning to issue 1 billion euro. 50% of that to retail and 50% to institutional investors. However, when they started the subscription period, which was rather short, it was 5 days, it was a big surprise that altogether 43,000 people participated in this first ever state bond for retail. And what is even more surprising is that out of these 43,000, 20,000 opened the account in the depository for the first time in their life, which actually means that potential for investments in case the right risk return policy is in place, it definitely exists in Croatia. And after all, the state decided to significantly increase the size of this issuance from 1 million to 1 billion to 1.85 billion, out of which 1.35 billion went to these 43,000 investors. Although the social structure of the investors was not announced, I've spoke to some of the bank managers, and they said that the largest individual stake in the bond was 12 million euro from one person. Altogether, I would say, besides the fact that Adrean mentioned, there is no taxation as well on the coupon, and it was also a short-term bond for the first trial, so it's only 2-year bond. These are two things that were a good incentive, but what was not favorable is that banks feel a little bit threatened by this action by the state, because of course in the environment when they are still offering to retail 0.5 or 1% on their savings, and the state giving 3.75% return on the bond, it's evident that the transfer of the deposits to the bonds is imminent. And the state has just announced that till the year end they are going to start for the first time issuing also treasury bills to retail. They are still building up a system in which, you know, how you can apply and actually buy these papers, and they have also announced another bond for the next year. We see that as a very good product for the market. We didn't experience yet, like in Adrian's case or Romanian case, a lot of turnover. In our case, until now, it was traded only 26 million euro out of this 1.85 billion. However, we see that as a very important project that can bring attention to the capital market again, and for us as a stock exchange, it was very important.
Thank you, Ivana. And Ivan, in Macedonia, you also have such program, and it is quite successful, as I know. So please share with us what exactly is it.
Hello, it's working?
Yes, just closer.
Yeah. Hello to everybody.
No, it's not working.
Take mine.
Hello to everybody. Thank you, Manu and Bulgarian Stock Exchange, for inviting me again here. Always glad to be in Sofia at these events. about your question and about our experience in Macedonia with the government bonds targeting retail investors. Actually, the whole story started a few years ago when, initiated by the stock exchange, the Ministry of Finance actually adopted long-term capital market development strategy, and one of the pillars was actually intention Ministry of Finance to start with this kind of bonds. And then, especially after this success in Croatia at the beginning of the year, our Ministry of Finance, in cooperation with other stakeholders in the financial market, actually did it for the first time during this summer. So in July, it was the first issue of these retail government bonds, in our case called citizen bonds, like građanski облигации. The ministry wanted to test the market and actually deliberately went with very small amount of issue. It was 10 million euros for domestic retails, and it was oversubscribed by ratio of 2.3, so actually 23 million were finally actually sold. The bond was with maturity of 2 years, with coupon of 5%, which is significantly higher than the bank's deposit for the same maturity. Around 1,300 individuals actually subscribed for these bonds. In the meantime, and after the success of this first issue, the Ministry of Finance announced that they will continue with these issues. And actually, these days, yesterday was the closing date for the second issue of this citizen bond, and today, but later, the ministry will announce the results. Again, nominally it's 10 million with possibility for enlargement of the issue. If there is an oversubscription, we will see what will be the results. So these are actually facts and figures about our case. So at the very beginning with small amounts.
Who organized the auctions?
In our case, the agent for the primary market of the Ministry of Finance is National Bank. Although we are trying as a Macedonian Stock Exchange to be involved somehow. We, let's say, actually submitted formal initiative to the Ministry of Finance for the future issues. We will see what will happen. Maybe only a few more sentences about the larger or broader meaning of that for our market. Definitely it was good educational exercise for our public, because there were many, let's say, articles and discussions at the media, and these figures, more than 1,000 subscribers for Macedonian circumstances is not so small number. So probably this will be, again, now the second issue, etc., etc. This will be a good promotional thing for people to be more present directly at the capital market. Also, it confirmed in our case that our theory, our thesis as a Macedonian Stock Exchange, in our case, domestic demand on the market is not a problem. There is actually huge appetite for good investment opportunities, and this actually confirmed, and we hope that it will have some kind of demonstration effect for the government, of course, for the future, but also for other potential issuers to tap the market. And also, as I mentioned, probably it's a kind of soft pressure towards the banks to, let's say, adjust the passive interest rates, because, as I can see as well in Bulgaria, they're lagging, let's say, compared with the prevailing market rates.
Thank you very much. So what I could summarize is that government bonds or government securities programs for retail investors are crucial and very important part of capital markets, especially in these days. They could bring a lot of individuals on stock exchange. For instance, at Bulgarian Stock Exchange, we have only 10,000 active investors, active retail investors, and they could become 10 times bigger if we have government securities listed on Bulgarian Stock Exchange. Also, secondary trading of government bonds is something very important for every country. We almost don't have official information about secondary trading of government securities in Bulgaria. And they also give a lot of power to the capital market. It becomes much more visible for international investors, and also shows a real potential of the stock exchange. What Mr. Tanasse said, that 1 billion of the new IPO was subscribed by individuals which are from part of this program. So we have 5 more minutes, and I would like to ask 3 of you to share with us some highlights, recent highlights or recent project with a few words, few sentences about your local market. So, Adrean, please.
Yes, the main project you have, and yes, hopefully you'll authorize it, is the central counterpart establishment. I have mentioned it about this project when I have been last time here. You are working since then, yeah, at this project. So this project has been initiated in 2019. We are still working on it, but you are really on the final stage, and hopefully you'll get authorized, and you'll become operational in the first part of next year. The CCP, this will facilitate the launch of derivatives market on the stock exchange. You'll have single stock futures, index futures, and also commodity market, energy futures, and the CCP will serve also the energy market with the physical delivery of Opcom. They are the partner into this project, and you have also a very important partner, which is Euronext Clear, the former CCNG. They are giving us advice in the authorization process, and they are providing us the technology. Yeah? So hopefully we'll have it authorized and functional in the first part of next year. This is very important because you want to efficientize the secondary market. You are the 3rd largest market in the region in terms of market cap, yeah, after Austria and Poland. But you are not there in terms of liquidity, and yes, my conviction is that you have to enlarge the product range towards our investors to facilitate some other short-term investment strategy, to have hedge funds presence, sophisticated investors to have a higher presence in Bucharest, to have a larger liquidity, and of course the derivatives market will have a very strong role in this. And yeah, other projects are focused on the educational process, and yes, you have many initiatives. 2 initiatives on the buy side, BVB Research Hub. We are trying to develop a hub there with all kind of information for the individuals and also for the investors, covering also ESG scores. You have a collaboration with Sustainalytics calculating ESG scores for all the listed companies, and they are voluntary published them on BVB Research. On the other side, on the sales side, you have a program similar to your accelerator made in Romania, and you are trying there to build a community of pre-IPO platform, and it's working very well. Yeah? So the attendance there, it's higher and higher. A lot of entrepreneurs are finding out about the capital market. In 2021, we had a record year. At that, in the conditions was completely different at that time, but still 23 companies has listed their companies. So you have 23 new companies in the market, and the Made in Romania has played a very good role in this. Yes, in a nutshell, this, but you have many other. Thank you.
Thank you. And Ivana, you're the leader of Western Balkans Stock Exchanges, so please.
Well, I would mention 3 things. First pillar is focus on new technologies. So we have 2 projects that we are working on. One is artificial intelligence research. So we are aware of the fact that most of our issuers do not have proper research by analysts, and we are trying to provide that with a project which is co-financed by EBRD. And the second one is starting Adria Digital Exchange, which is a company that will test new technologies in terms of crypto trading or distributed ledger technology in our business. Second part...
you have a stake in this company, yes?
Yes, we have stake in this company. The second thing that we would like to do is to promote our traditional stock exchange market as option for financing tourist companies. Our country has around 25% of the GDP lying in tourism, and over 30% of our listed companies are in tourist segment. So this is why we think Croatia could be a good hub for financing companies in tourism on Adriatic Sea that do not have developed exchanges in this respect. And the third one, I mentioned Croatia has entered Eurozone. We are also part of Schengen since 1st of January. And now the third political goal for our government is to enter OECD. OECD project is actually includes a very strong focus of OECD on development of capital markets, and this is why our government, for the first time in history, is going to publish or vote for the development strategy of the capital markets in Croatia. And we somehow hope that they will, we discuss the case of Romania many times on these meetings, and we hope that they will learn something from that case and implement it at least partly in Croatia.
Thank you. And Ivan, something is booming in your market.
Yeah, actually you're referring to one of our current projects, which is actually inspired with your project as well. You have this, as I know, quite successful BIM Up Market and BIM Up Lab. So actually we created a kind of business club. We as a stock exchange together with PricewaterhouseCoopers in Macedonia. The club is called BOOM, which is abbreviation of Берзата и успешните в Macedonia, BOOM, BOOM Club. So we have more than 20 companies that formally now are our members, and we are actually trying to anticipate the forthcoming changes in our legislation, because although we are not EU member, we are harmonizing the legislation, and we will have the new law actually allowing to have this growth market and IPO to be done directly with the stock exchange. So these members in the BOOM Club are actually natural candidates for this growth market. So this is one of the projects. The second one I would like to mention, and actually we already discussed slightly about that, we are trying to discuss with the Ministry of Finance to become their primary agent for the government bonds, because we think that with changing from the National Bank to the stock exchange, the sales and the promotional channels will be different, because objectively now banks are not chasing clients for the government bonds. If clients came to the bank, okay. If we got that project as a capital market with our brokers that are more proactive, they will do, I think, even more successful job about that. So this is the second project. And the third one, we actually became the biggest shareholder in our central securities depository. Now Macedonian Stock Exchange actually bought 30% of the shares, and now we can coordinate with them some of the projects in the future. For example, we are trying to see how to offer, like you did it, to our domestic investors trading in foreign securities locally. But for that, the support from the CSD is crucial. So let's say these are few projects I would like to share with you.
Thank you very much. So our time has finished. If there are some questions, we're ready to answer. If not, I would like to thank you very much for coming. I'm very glad that you're here, and that the CEOs of the stock exchanges in Central and Eastern Europe are working together quite often, and we're looking for opportunities, looking each other what we are doing, and I hope that we will find good solutions in the future for our cooperation. Thank you once again.
Инвестор Медиа Про представя Инвестор Файнанс Форум. Събитие на Инвестор БГ. Инвестор Медиа Про. Тук събитията се случват.